Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be for the feminine on your mind. So viewers, if you're looking for information on where your feminine stands, a feminine energy that you are connected with, let's have a look. What is this feminine energy thinking and feeling regarding the connection at this time that you've been drawn to this video? What can we see? How are they thinking of the connection, feeling on the heart space? What are they wishing to manifest? What are they doing as far as action that would be towards this connection? What is the biggest challenge? What is the spirit guided solution for that challenge? And where are things going in the near future? And what you can do, viewer, to help align if you want to keep manifesting with this person. All right, conscious mind. Ooh, I will say I have, for one more day, I'm going to leave my 30-minute sessions up for $55 instead of $77. The links are below on the Work With Me tab through my website. So find that in the description box below. Okay, and then tomorrow it's going back up to the regular price. All right, what can we see for the feminine on your mind? Ooh, dropping the guard about the new beginning. So this feminine energy has been heavily triggered by past experiences and other karmic relationships, and even in this connection, but there's a dropping of the guard in preparation for a leap of faith in divine timing. What do you need to know about this if you would like to continue manifesting with this feminine? It says Lord of Material Gain, 9 of Pentacles. So this, just know that the feminine you're watching this for is learning to come into sovereignty and to take care of themselves in a sovereign way within relationships. So not overly, giving away their power just because you're a masculine, not overly giving away their power just because they're attracted to you, not overly giving away their power just because they've been conditioned to do so in the survival templates of the world. This is really a process of justification, of it being warranted to drop the guard so that there is true trust, true safety. So continue being who you are and showing them who you are, channeling your higher guidance, holding your own, being that essential person that you are, allowing for this truth to remain steadfast, showing the world the real you I just heard. What can we see on the conscious mind for you, viewer? 9 of Air and Queen of Wands. Interesting. The 9 of Air in this deck is not the anxiety that it is depicted as in many decks. This is like light as a feather. So this feminine is learning to capture their thoughts, to drop suffering storylines, to reclaim things, to overcome triggers, and to bring things into the level of peace. This is part of their empowerment. This is part of them dropping their guard or their skepticism or their fear. So you could imagine that a little bit more time might be needed before this feminine comes into a 0 point where they can just be in soft and lovely energy and not project or have mistrust of you. That is, if you are holding your energy in this way, viewer. Okay, what can we see for your advice in this case? The Devil in the inverse. It takes two. And so just as your feminine is letting go of, settling for less than they deserve or taking scraps or, that is connected to carpet sweeping red flags or, they want to know for sure that it's true love. They don't want to get into something that isn't actually the real deal this time. And so they might err on the side of caution, and that's okay. But you also have to see it for that, viewer, and not hold it against them or not take it personally that it's you that they don't trust. This whole world gives us nothing but opportunities to mistrust and to go into ego and to keep ourselves safe. If you truly are in this sovereign, balanced, righteous energy, then don't let the devil energies persuade you into thinking that your feminine is doing this because they want to push you away, is what I'm getting. What can we see on the heart space for these feminines? Ooh, they see you as the emperor. Ideally, they are integrating their own inner masculine. There are some decisions. The King of Swords can be the decisions. It can also be misconceptions, especially in the inverse. It can be things that are triggers or opportunities to revert back to old ways, temptations. In this Emperor energy, your feminine is holding their own right now and continuing to sustain a new composure where they are in balance impeccably, even in the face of possible disturbances, triggers, misconceptions, not knowing certain things. They're staying in a balanced energy is what I'm getting. They're learning impeccable nobility. They're learning to know what they feel on their heart space to be true. I've never seen this, but there is a sword here, and this king is also, holding this sword. There are two truths going on, the external appearance of things and then this inner knowing, inner preference. These feminines on their heart space choose you, but the physical reality around you may be offering them things that are ambiguous, partly because this connection is taking the time it's taking to come in, partially because not everything has been spoken or exchanged, partially because of the divine timing allowing us to experience these energies and the opportunity to be in this balance, this noble balance. So on the heart space, just know that your counterpart, your feminine here, is learning to be very definitive with what their deepest truth is, despite what meets the eye in some regard. What is your advice? Well, we got two. 8 of Swords and 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, you might be trapped and powerless or thinking you don't have any way to move this forward in the 3D right now or change the way certain things appear. These misconceptions or possibly legal matters or circumstances you're dealing with, the things that your feminine needs to give the benefit of the doubt and keep trusting. You may feel like you don't have the ability to move those things forward, but the 8 of Swords is where we're trapped in our own thoughts. So it is a matter of perception. There is some wiggle room. There is something that you can bring, masculines, to the table here that doesn't change the developmental stage that this connection is in, but it offers more of a sincere, authentic take on that. So you may, believe that things are ticking along as they can, but this holding back consciously is something that can make a world of difference to your feminine if you allow them to know your intention. That doesn't mean that you have to overly promise, but you don't have to be so stingy with your ideas, preference, information, just because things can't fully unfold yet. You do have more liberty to share your internal dialogue or your vision or your hopes a little bit more in some way. You don't have to be so rigid, because just as much as the feminines are learning to stay in their own balance regardless of how things appear, you're also, masculines, being evolved into a version that doesn't keep such an aloof tabs on what's happening for fear of overpromising prematurely. Wow. What can we see on the Heart of Hearts? So this is a deep heart work. This is trust. This is safety. This is where both are acknowledging on the heart space that there can be a unique scenario here, that this connection justifies loosening up a little, especially on the heart space here. What can we see in the Heart of Hearts from these feminines to you, masculines? Love and the Page of Wands. So this is the higher love and prayer. So deep in the Heart of Hearts, the feminines are continuing to call on that innermost knowing, the sword of this emperor, nobility. They want the impeccable truth. They will settle for nothing less than love here. And they're asking for divine guidance every step of the way with everything that is playing out. What is your advice? Kindness, Princess of Pentacles. So there are going to be some opportunities in the future to not be in lower vibrational energy, and in this case not be so aloof. There are opportunities where you can extend kindness, presence. This can be physical interaction. Physical can be messaging, but it can also be in person. There's something here where the energies of alignment are happening. I'm almost seeing this, because it's on the heart space, as divine timing, because the feminines are truly asking the divine for guidance, and it's bringing opportunities in the dynamic for physical interaction. And so that, you know, when we're focused on source, we're not hyper focused on the other one in a material sense of relationship. We're getting higher guidance. That means we're caring about alignment and righteous energy and being in balance, and that's what actually allows for the coast to be clear, for the interactions to happen. So masculines, if you are feeling like things feel good to connect in the physical, to interact on a new level in a new way, and that it doesn't have to be a huge expression or, you know, premeditated or thought out, it can just be in flow. That is a huge indicator that this is your reading, because your feminine is now more geared on alignment than on getting or receiving, giving certain things in a material sense or a material realm sense. It's more about alignment than agenda or attachment or expectation. It's that non-attachment and openness that's coming in, that's going to be allowing you to come to the forefront and shine, and to be seen for who you truly are, with all the love you have to give, and the care and the nobility and the righteousness and the purity of your spirit, masculines. You've never been seen this way by anyone but your feminine. Not in the way your feminine sees you, not in the way that the divine shows you who you are as it relates to a person. This is a unique relationship. That peace, that understanding, the acknowledgement of each other's souls. There's more of that coming in here. What can we see for the manifestations these feminines would like? Transformation and the world. So they want this transformation to be complete, so the gap can be closed, so you can spend more time in the physical together, so you can interact more, I heard, normally, casually, in flow with each other. What is the advice for you, masculines? King of Cups, acknowledging your emotions. This is in the inverse. So there is this says Prince of the Chariot of Waters. And so in order to move forward, you're going to have to acknowledge it's safe to feel, it's safe to identify your emotions. It's safe to foster, cultivate positive emotional experiences here, where you're not on guard for things to go off balance or off course. This transformation, we don't have a confidence in the transformation until we see things playing out in new ways, in the ways we've always hoped dynamics could play out. This might come through in very mundane interactions where something could happen between the two that could look like karmic patterns of the past that could get off the rails. But in this case, the two are going to catch that ball and not drop it, and it's going to come through with flying colors. It's going to be evidence that the two are of a high level maturity, spiritual maturity, that can be entrusted with a love like this instead of bringing in the projections of fear. And so, yeah, there may be some developmental challenges coming up that the two can see each other and themselves coming through in a good way that can bring more confidence and safety and assurance into these connections. What can we see as the actions these feminines are taking? Wow, there's the Chariot and the Four of Swords. So they're meditating on what would feel good to have happen in relationship. This is the peace. They're meditating on how to be in the alignment of soft and lovely energy. What can we see for you masculines? Wow, the Wheel of Fortune. So it's in the inverse here, which it's on the table, but there are going to be divinely orchestrated opportunities for you to show up, to acknowledge your emotions, to process your emotions, and then to experience a new type of relating where you recognize that you've come through certain concerns and fears and that they don't apply here anymore. What can we see for the biggest challenge for the feminines? Is that where we're at? Emperor's biggest challenge for these feminines. Page of Air, open curiosity, and the changes. So the biggest challenge is not filtering what is happening now through the past. The karmic past, the past in this connection, just the past in general that would claim that love can't exist or that we have to be on guard. We saw the Page of Swords twice in the masculine reading. This is beginner's eyes, but this is the biggest challenge, is dropping the prejudice and entering into this relationship with a new willingness, a new openness, a new safety, a new trust. So there is a major cycle that is closing, so a new one can begin here. Advice for masculines, Lord of Abundance. This is emotional freedom within the connection. A lot of trust has been built here. What can we see for the solution to this challenge? 9 of Fire, dropping the guard and seeing positive results as they unfold because the guard is being dropped. So we don't need to fear. We can't say or do the wrong thing with the right person. It's all a work in progress. And that's what I'm seeing here, is that we're going to start seeing the confirmation that this is truly different. In the process of this connection unfolding, things are going to be revealed that this is not a repeat of history. This is new. This is uncharted. This is what we've all been asking for. And it's going to be playing out with the proof that this truly is a balanced connection, is what I'm hearing, where it justifies dropping the guard. We haven't seen all the opportunities that this is going to be confirmed, but we're moving into a time here, feminines and masculines, where we're going to see each other showing up the way that we're meant to and treating each other with dignity. I just heard respect, honor, acknowledgement, appreciation, love. What do the masculines need to know here? Ace of Cups, love. Root of the Power of Waters. So this is where the emotions, we can befriend them and we can trust them, where they're not things to keep us safe. We don't need to hide behind them anymore. We're safe to allow closeness, allow the emotional connection to be forged. Emotional availability is something that true divine masculines withhold until it's actually warranted and justified. So feminines, your masculines are seeing an energy here where it warrants them actually allowing their emotions to get involved. Masculines, you're not wrong to believe that this is the feminine where that is safe to do. What is the energy in the near future? 9 of Earth. This is the card that we got for the masculines to begin with, about holding your own energy. So the feminines are coming into this very high frequency wholeness. And this is going to be revealed. The moon here, secrets being revealed, coming up from the deep. So there is a flowering. Look, there's a flower in this feminine's hand. It looks like a weed, you know, the kind that can push up through pavement. So it does look like there's going to be some kind of new tender shoot, a new blossoming here of this wholeness coming through for all to see. And so if that hasn't emerged already, it's about to. And there are going to be glimpses of it coming through. Advice for the masculines. Lord of loss and pleasure. Wow, I'm really seeing that everything else is going to fade, that you're not going to be attracted to many of the things that you used to be attracted to in a more developmental stage. There's nothing that's going to become more attractive than your feminine's purity and readiness for the real thing, actually. So we're seeing divine feminines coming into receptivity for real love, and literally just not being attracted to anything less than that. And in turn, the masculines now becoming only attracted to this level of alignment in a feminine. Teamwork, go team. Put go team in the comments below if you got this far and you resonate. All right, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.